Alright, so I just bought this 6-inch Craftsman Vise. And it's a nice looking piece here. However, we have a little problem. Even when I tighten this up, we're still getting a little weeble wobble in there. Notice it's not moving so much where it's tight here, it's moving in the middle. And that's because that bolt, there's one bolt that sits in the middle that bolts it to this base here. And that is too small. That's the supplied bolt, but it's still too small for the hole that's in the base. Alright, so we unbolt it now. I'm going to take a look underneath and show you what I'm talking about. So you see that? Not necessarily because the bolt's not tight. The bolt will get tight. Tighten it too much, can't turn the base at all. So it's not moving off of the base right now. See, now it's tight on, the base is tight on the regular anvil part, but it's still slopping side to side. So we gotta get that cleaned up a bit. So my thought is to get a couple washers or some kind of spacer in there to secure it. Steel washers or aluminum, anything would work in there, but you can see that the size there is what's causing the problem. There's a lot of movement of that bolt inside the space of that's in the base there. It's not gonna work. Alright, so I gotta measure and see if I can find some washers. If I can't, I gotta go pick them up. Alright. So, I went to the hardware store, picked up a couple of different styles of sleeve here. As you can see, I got a brass one here. This is a brass metric one here. This one would have been a good length, but this one here was a slightly different size. I want to try different sizes because I forgot to bring the bolt with me. What I did find was this steel one. This steel one is not the perfect size, but it's pretty close. The length wasn't right, so I had to sort of hacksaw that off a little bit there. What was key, though, I'm sure you can see this, is the fact that it has a split in it. That's going to allow me to have a little give, because as I'll show you in the next section, doesn't quite fit over the shoulder of the bolt. But this that will help give me the extra room I need. But I ironically needed to cut it with the very tool that I'm trying to repair, that is the vise. So I had to temporarily hook that back up so that I could get to that end. Alright, so as you can see, this bolt has a bit of a shoulder. That shoulder right here is where the base piece rides. You can see this is pretty high quality, but there are some casting issues here. You can see those holes there. Not a great casting. Right, it's right in there, and the shoulder comes up through. But again, that shoulder, that's not even close. So I don't know if this shim is something that just a design flaw. They didn't have something like this in there, but I don't need to really deburr that or anything. Maybe if I find it's not moving well. So what I'm going to do now is get this on here, and like I said, it's a snug fit, it's a tight fit. It'll fit nicely on there once it's ready. That little split will allow the extra little bit of room. It's close. I mean, it's really close. And then it'll expand a little in here. Because see, it's still got a little room in there. And then just make that just such a nice, tighter fit. Alright, so I need to get a socket out and bang that on. I think will probably be the easiest thing to do. Hopefully that fits in there. Let's see. Oh, barely any wiggle now. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's gonna work. If only I just hope I didn't make it a little too long. That's perfect. All right, let's get it set up. All right. So I found a washer that will fit. This is from the deck. When I was building that, I have some leftovers. It will not fit in here. Just got to grind, flatten those edges off a little bit, but it will fit in here. You probably don't need the washer. It's probably overkill, but that fits on there, as you can see. But I just don't want the corners of it to mar that too much, and then end up wearing it out, going back and forth over time. So, gonna go ahead and just angle grind a couple of flat spots at 180 degrees there. So. Now, it may actually, what I'm seeing now is that it's not actually fitting in that little slot there. That may present a problem. If it doesn't fit, we're just going to forgo the washer, but I think it'll still thread. Will not thread at all. So there we go. That's the end of that. No washer. No washer for me. It's like the bolt is bottoming out. Bolt's bottoming out. It threads into this here, into this carrier that's in here. Oh man, we're gonna need another washer. All right, so I did have another washer. This guy, which fit in that area but didn't fit the bolt. So let's do this. Let's get that out of there. This washer drilled out to fit the collar, because that fits quite nicely in there. And we're gonna need that shim. Oh, brother. There we go. I don't even know if this bit is going to work, but it should get us at least some of that drilled away. It's the biggest thing I have to get through this hole, to widen it out to get at least close to wide enough for this. Even if I could just get it a little bit down, flip it over, do it a little more, and I can just bang this thing the rest of the way through. I don't know. We'll see. It looks like a wood boring bit, so it probably is not going to work, but we'll try. Well, that took about 5 seconds. We're quite a bit of the way through. I think when we get all the way through there, and that should be good to give us the spacing we need. As you can see, it's pretty clean. It's looking pretty good. All right. All right. It's back on there. No more weeble wobbles. Look at that. It is kind of tight, though. I had to tighten this. Otherwise, if I leave it a lot looser, as I turn this, the bolt just turns. So, I'm going to set it up, see how it moves around before I get it fully tightened. But we should be good to go. I mean, that's loose. This thing ain't going anywhere. I have a little more leverage, obviously, when it's in place rather than here, to see if it'll even be movable with this tightness. I might have to loosen it a little, so we'll see. Oh, she's a beaut. It is moving like butter. I knew it was just a leverage issue when I had it on the bench. This is moving just perfect. Exactly the way I want it to. Very easy. I'll double check underneath to make sure that bolt hasn't loosened up as I go back and forth. I could even go a little bit tighter on it. I'm hoping it keeps moving with the washer on there. So here we are, fully bolted. Everything's back in. You can see it's much more solid. It's a little tighter to move because I had to tighten the bolt a little bit more than I really wanted to, but it's in there now. Now, if we go ahead and tighten this up, we showed this before, all the weeble wobbling. That's just hand tight. I need a hammer. That's not enough. Alright. No more weeble wobbling at all. At all. At all. There's a little tiny bit. Man, that thing is solid now. I can hammer on that thing all day. Here you go. Still moves with relative ease. Needs a little push, but that's fine. It's a Vise. And yeah, any angle. Once it locks itself in there, it's not going nowhere. Nowhere. It's awesome. Alright, fix that up. So, if you get this Vise, I highly recommend you get that weeble wobbling fixed up. I don't know if they're all like mine was, but that's how you do it. You get a little steel sleeve, cut it to length, get a washer, put it in there, and you're good to go. Rocking and rolling. And just to show you, this does move perfectly fine still. So that's all good. All good. Alright, a little bit of elbow grease, a couple of tools, and we're good to go. Alright, thanks.